Alright, so we are at the Goodwill today. I am using my backup camera. It is a little bit blurry, so bear with me today, but we've got Dagny here. Today's video is going to be a voiceover because the music is super loud in this Goodwill, but let's head in and see what we can find that we can flip for a profit. So we decided to start out here in the handbag section like we normally do, and Dagny found this interesting bag here, but with the beads on the shoulder straps there, it just didn't seem like it would be very practical. Probably very uncomfortable, actually. I decided to dig a little deeper and see what was there in the back. I found this purse, which I liked the color of it, but I didn't recognize the marking there or the brand. It was like Ivy and Lily or something like that, but I just decided to leave it. There wasn't really anything else there that caught my eye. This one down here, I did like the bee on that, but other than the bee, there were no markings and no brand, so I did leave that as well. That one was leather, but I wasn't that committed to it, obviously. We've got a Santa Claus here. I did go through the Christmas just to see what was there. This bag here had been ripped open. Obviously, someone wanted a particular ornament out of that bag. This piece right here was just very large. I liked it stylistically. It wasn't very practical to ship, and it's not a piece that I felt like was worthwhile putting into a booth. So I did pass on it. I noticed those plates stacked there. They looked to be hand painted. This piece I have picked up before at this Goodwill, and it's been hanging around for quite a while. I had to find a place for it there on the bottom shelf. But alas, it was these plates that I was interested in, and I thought they were hand painted, but when I got a little closer, I realized they weren't. These dishes here were interesting. They looked like bone dishes. Dagny also found some brass fans. I spotted this little wooden carved bird. It looked to be a Roadrunner, and it was only 99 cents. My camera is having issues. This camera normally does. Unfortunately, my other camera died. So I'm just working with what I've got. There we go. So he was kind of cute, and for only 99 cents, I figured I'd grab him. This was a souvenir piece of some sort, a letter holder. But a whole bag of pineapples. I don't even know what I would do with those. The mustard bottles are still there, as you can see. One of these days I probably will end up buying them. Now, Dagny did spot these Bailey's mugs here, these cups, and these are collectible, and there are different variations of these, and people will pay money for these. We did pass on those. She picked up this piece that just happened to be missing a lid. It's the missing lid conspiracy. Now, this one was $1.99, and we were trying to figure out that maybe this was possibly meant for snacks or something because it said yum on it, and it did not have a handle. There were some little wooden pieces here that I decided to take a closer look at. They were painted, but I didn't see a whole lot of resale value there. Some more wooden pieces. They were just little wooden shelves. There was a purse here, and I liked the shape of it. I thought it was just kind of a fun shape, and so I decided to investigate it a little bit further. And after I got it open, I realized that this was probably a more modern piece, and it was made in China. So I did decide to pass on that, even though it was kind of interesting. And we've got some bottles. Now this creamer was 99 cents and I did end up grabbing this, but eventually at the checkout I did put it back because I realized there was a chip on the spout that I did not realize when I grabbed it. I've got a Basset Hound here and I did grab this Basset Hound. It was a cutout. It was copper. Now, someone on Instagram, Renovated Home, just posted a very similar cat, and so I'm interested to find out who the artist is on this. Down on the bottom shelf, I noticed something. Oh, it was a spittoon. Well, you look at that. No, actually, it was this. This is what I noticed. It was this. It was this Chalkware Owl. It was pretty neat. I think it may be an ashtray, but you could repurpose it for other things. It doesn't have to be an ashtray, but it is definitely chalkware, so it is very heavy. Dagny found a cheese slicer. And this coffee to go cup was there the last time, and I thought it was gross that somebody would leave their coffee on the shelf, but it turns out it's a reusable cup and not somebody's leftover coffee. So that was made me feel a little bit better than someone just leaving their coffee there. Now Dagny found this and it was like an antler handle, so it was interesting and it was made in Norway. And I think she did end up leaving that there though. She did not buy it. This was stacked very precariously. So it was scary. We did end up fixing it for them so that nothing tragic happened. There you go. Right there. All fixed. You're welcome. Now, Daggy found this Hager piece, which was great. Fantastic. This is a Hager pitcher, and it's from the early 2000s. I have a good friend, Yvette, who actually had one of these pieces when she met me when I went to go get my bird Astrid. And she met me there in New Jersey, and she had this exact same piece. And so it was kind of exciting to see it again. But it's an interesting style for Hager. It's not one that I see very often. So, but you can see there it is marked on the bottom, and it is early 2000s. Now, Dagny spotted these cassette tapes here on the bottom shelf, and she asked me if I even knew what they were. And I told her, of course, those are 8 tracks. And I had her going for a moment. But yes, I knew they were cassette tapes. I used to listen to Raffi as a kid. This little dish right here, it had some birds on it. I couldn't quite tell if it was porcelain or if it was a enameled metal. I was a little confused, but it was only 99 cents in any case, and it was just a nice little dish where you could put your earrings or something of that nature, so I decided to grab that. Dagny found a little glass dish there, probably a powder dish. Poor Cinderella's been there forever. Dagny spotted this, which is really cool. It had a kind of a German theme, and they're making soft pretzels, which is really cool. We've got some of the best soft pretzels here in Pennsylvania, and they're making soft pretzels. So I think she did end up grabbing that and sticking it in her cart, and you can find her store linked down below in the Shop with Our Friends link. Her eBay store is linked there, so she'll probably have that listed. This bag was interesting, and I'm not quite sure what exactly it was, if it was meant for like Hot Wheels cars or if it was maybe a model train set. We couldn't quite figure that out. This is a cup that says present as opposed to absent. This is the present cup, in case anyone was wondering. The cordless drill is still here, I was a little excited about that, and I thought, you know what, I need a cordless drill, but probably not this one because there's no charging cable for it. There was a set of plates down on the bottom shelf, and they were kind of cherry themed, I guess. Yes, that's what they were. They had cherries on them. And so Dagny was trying to figure out who made them, and the bottom marking left much to be desired. So we did end up leaving them there on the shelf. I did find this. May happiness dwell in your heart. And the back said PA Dutch folk art. So I did end up grabbing this. It kind of reminded me of motto wear a little bit. I don't know if it would actually be considered motto wear, but I liked it and I decided to grab it. So we spotted these dolls here on the bottom shelf. They do not have faces because they are likely Amish dolls. A lot of the times Amish people will not put faces on their dolls. And part of the reason for this is because the belief that only God can make people. So there's kind of a weird story behind that where an Amish father cut off the head of a doll and replaced it with a stocking. You can go read about it. It's interesting. But Amish, a lot of the times Amish dolls will not have faces. Now Dagny found a candle holder and she was kind of teasing me saying, well, maybe this is Fire and Light. And it kind of got me a little bit excited because Yvonne Thrifty Rich, who actually introduced me to Fire and Light glass, sent me a link not too long ago that they did actually make clear glass. And so that got me thinking, oh, wait, maybe it is. Maybe I should grab this on some off chance that it is Fire and Light. You don't want it, and she didn't want it. So I did end up taking it. So here you can see that the shelf is about to fall off. And at the time, I thought, you know what, I should say something to someone who works here. But there was no one around. And so I made a mental note that I would say something when I went to check out, and I totally forgot. So I will have to give a call over there and let them know that their shelf is about to fall off. Dagny has a bag of gravel, and in the bag of gravel, it appears to be a vintage Japanese aquarium decoration, which is actually pretty good. But she did end up leaving that. We've got this here. This is a covered dish. It is marked made in Japan. Some of these pieces that are made in Germany can be worth money. And down on the bottom shelf, there's some artwork by Dave Deary. Dave Deary. You know, the seagulls weren't that great, but I did like the goat. And I considered buying them, but what am I going to do with them? I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So I did pass. I feel like they had a special meaning at one point in their lives. And so it's really hard for me with artwork because I know that they were special and they took a lot of work and effort, but I left them. Now, Dagny found the base to a covered hen, and of course it's missing the lid. This piece is, I don't even know what that is, actually. We've got Joy candlestick holders. And we've got a teapot without a lid. It's the missing lid conspiracy. I've got a theory, though. And we may have some merch coming out soon that might explain my theory. Dagny's got an owl mug. I did like the owl mug. I liked it, but I just didn't see a whole lot of resale value in the owl mug. And yes, I saw the Blendo picture. There you go. There is a Blendo picture here on the shelf. Unfortunately, these do not have a very high resale value. There's another owl. They're everywhere. This piece caught my eye. I liked these little cups, and I'm not sure if they're custard cups or just little broth cups, but they were $2.99 for this set. I did end up leaving them. We've got another Red Mansion plate. I believe it's the Red Mansion series that my viewers commented. It matches the plate that we saw at the Goodwill, the previous video. Now, Dagny found this amazing antique milk glass plate for only $2.99, and you can see the gold is kind of wearing off, but that's typical of these antique pieces. So she did grab that. I found a Stein with eagles on it. But you can see the bottom, it is a collector's piece. Well, you can't see the bottom. There you go. It is a collector's piece. And Dagny found a really cool shower curtain. I've got birds on my shower curtain. I don't really need any new shower curtains. And there are some fantastic slippers. Get lit. For real. I kind of wish I had a pair. We checked and they were not in a size that either of us could wear. So unfortunately, we did leave them. But I would not mind wearing those slippers all around my house. So I did decide to grab this piece of artwork here. I really liked the kind of dark tones of it. It just made me think of winter. And so I thought it would be great to stick in the booth. One of the booths, I'm not sure which one, but I did grab that. The last time we were here, I noticed this piece, but I did not notice that somebody had actually made it politically correct. And Dagny did point that out for me. So you can see the piece there. I like that it's on board. I think that's interesting, and that really makes it. I probably wouldn't have grabbed it if it was on canvas, to be honest. I looked through the other pieces there to see if there was anything else that caught my eye. This piece was interesting because of the advertisement on the back of it. Not so much the art, but the advertisement. Fast-paced boardwalk amusement abound for all ages. There you go. So I almost wonder if it was an homage to the article. Then I found this, which was absolutely amazing, and I kind of suspect that somebody was hiding it. I know that sounds crazy, but it was actually like tucked up behind some other stuff, and I honestly think that this was hidden. And I was kind of surprised to have found it. Even Dagny was surprised I found it, but I was standing pretty far away when I saw the top of it peeking out. And I honestly thought it was the unicorn Stein that I had showcased in one of my previous videos, and I was going to grab it for Dagny's husband, Jimmy, because he seemed really excited about the unicorn Stein when I showed it in my last video. And so I was like, oh my gosh, it's still here. And when I went to grab it, I realized, wait, that's not the unicorn Stein. That's something else. And it's amazing. It's got a fox on it and these wild pigs, and it's only $4.99. So I'm not too sure. I think that this was stashed. So they did wheel out some new bins, and here at this Goodwill, they're perfectly okay with people digging through the bins. So we decided to check and see what treasures they held. And I found this piece in here. This is it's a South American art piece. It was $2.99. I find them all the time, and I always just assume they were vases. But this piece actually has a stopper. So I decided to grab it for $2.99. I feel like it's probably a souvenir piece of some sort. But I liked it with the stopper. I may not have grabbed it without the stopper. Dagny found a boot shot glass down there. I mean, all the good stuff is really at the bottom. You have to like dig for it. See, there's some dolphins from Florida. And then I pulled out this painted shoe form. Dagny kind of helped me there, but I thought it was fantastic. And I decided to grab this just because it was hand painted. Now, Dagny pulled out this little desk here, which was very detailed and interesting. And I thought, you know what? I think that is a Tom Clark piece. I don't know if it is or not, but I assumed, well, maybe it is. And I still don't know if it is, but it was only $4.99. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And so she kept digging through the bins. There was Santa. And so obviously he was meant to go with the desk there. He was kind of like a paper, I don't know. He was a different kind of material as the desk, but they clearly went together. So they were very nice quality. She didn't want them. And so I thought, okay, I'll take them. If you don't want them, for sure. Absolutely. I'm not sure whether or not I'll list them this year or wait until next year. I've kind of put a stop on my Christmas stuff, but I thought that they were great. This bunny right here reminded me of Dream Pets. And I have picked up Dream Pets in the past, they don't have a very high resale value. However, this bunny was not Dream Pets. It was actually something else. It was marked. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. No, you can't. Maybe? Come on. Woolikin. A lovable Woolikin original. So it was not Dream Pets, and he was just absolutely adorable. So I passed him off to Dagny. I said, you should maybe look this up. This might be worth something. And she did, and it's worth more than they're asking for it. So she did decide to grab that. So I will now keep my eye out for Woolikins for the right price. And I decided to dig a little more in this bin because this bin seems to be the one that's delivering here. Now, it took a few moments for it to register, but I realized they had all of these colored bulbs in here, and I know somebody who makes the most beautiful Christmas wreaths in all the land. And so I decided to pick these out and donate these to the cause, and give them to Michael, my friend at the Cult of Vintage, for him to make some more wreaths, possibly next year, because I'm not sure if he's making any more this year, but I figured those would be great for him. All right, so on our way out to the checkout, we did stop by the clothes section. You can see the checkout is right there. I just couldn't help myself, and I noticed this coat, and it was just kind of fantastic. I mean, I've got really long arms, so I had a little bit of an issue with the arm length not being the best, but I just absolutely loved this coat. I don't feel like it's something I would wear personally, but I just loved it. So I decided to buy it, and then I made Dagny try on this. I mean, I didn't force her. I was just like, you should try on this one because this one is great too. And it had like fun buttons that you could, whether you were a lefty or a righty, it would button either way. So that was a really fun coat. All right, so that was it for that Goodwill. I think we did pretty good. Our total spend was $54, I do believe. Now right at the end there, Dagny scooped up a bag of Wade Whimsies. She got like the entire holiday set, which was really pretty cool. So I didn't get that on video because she was checking out on the other side of the counter. But I think we're gonna go grab some Starbucks now, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Later.